welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host Yeshi. Here are the headlines. Sri Lanka's Prime Minister warns of worse days as economic crisis worsens. India sends 2,000 tons of wheat to war-torn Afghanistan. And devotees soak in festivities of Thrissur Puram festival in India's southern Kerala state. Let's begin the show with Sri Lanka, where an economic crisis that has brought misery and unrest is going to get worse before it gets better. The country has been facing acute fuel shortages and soaring food prices. Showing no signs of relief in near future, Sri Lanka's new Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe warns of tough times in the coming months. Take a look.
Sri Lanka continues to face a constant economic crisis. A chronic foreign exchange shortage has led to rampant inflation and shortages of fuel and other essentials, bringing thousands out on the streets in widespread protests. Despite India's supply of 400,000 metric tons of fuel, Sri Lanka's fuel stations bled dry. Ranil Wickremesinghe, who was recently appointed as new Prime Minister, told the crisis-hit nation that the next couple of months will be more difficult ones.
කෙසේ වුවත් ඉදිරි මාස කීපය ඔබට මට ජීවිතයේ දුෂ්කරම කාල පරිච්ඡේදය ගත කරන්නට සිදු වේවි. එයට අපි සියල්ලෝම කැපවීමෙන් මුහුණ දිය යුතුයි. මම ජනතාවට කරුණු සංගවා බොරු කීමට කිසිසේත් කැමති නැහැ. භයානක වුවත් අප්‍රසන්න වුවත් මේකයි ඇත්ත తත්වය. කෙටි කාලීනව අපි මුහුණ දෙන්න යන්නේ ගෙවි කාලයටත් වඩා දුෂ්කරම කාලයකට. මේ වෙලාවේ අපට තිබෙන්නේ දුක් කම්කටොළු විතරයි. ඒත් මේ తත්වය කෙටි කාලීනයි. ඉදිරි මාස කීපෙදී අපේ මිත්‍ර රටවල උපකාරය සහ සහයෝගය අපට ලැබෙවි. ඔවුන් මේ වන විටත් අපට උදව් කරන්න පොරොන්දු වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ සඳහා ගතවන මාස කීපය අපට ඉවසීමෙන් දරා ගන්නට ඉන්නම වෙනවා. නමුත් අපිට මේකෙන් ගොඩ යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ සඳහා අපිට අලුත් මාර්ගයක යන්න වෙනවා.
Amid the economic crisis and demonstrations, the island nation lifted a nationwide curfew to allow people to celebrate the Buddhist festival of Vesak. Lantern sellers hoped for some good business, but the economic crisis had not brought any good news for them. This time, the prices of raw materials like paper are skyrocketing, so they had to raise the price of their products accordingly.
දැයිලා අපි මේ කූඩුවක් විකුණලා ඒ කට්ටියකින් උරුකන කන්න නෙමෙයි. අපි ඇවිල්ලා සුදුළු ලාභයක් අපට තිබුණත් ඇති. අපි අර කරන් මේක නවත්තන්න බැරි කම තමයි දැන් තියෙන්නේ. කරලා පුරුදු වෙලා මේ ගොඩාක් සල්ලි එන්නේ නැහැ.
Protesters in Sri Lanka are still demanding the arrest of former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. They also chanted slogans and held placards denouncing President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Sri Lanka's economic crisis has come from the confluence of COVID-19 pandemic, battering the tourism-reliant economy, rising oil prices and populist tax cuts. Talks with countries or bodies that can bail Sri Lanka out of the crisis are ongoing, but as of now there appears no immediate solution. Some also believe that this crisis is yet to reach its peak and people will be further affected. They say it may take months for Sri Lanka to recover the losses they have incurred so far.
Moving on, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Nepalese counterpart Sher Bahadur Deuba held a bilateral meeting in Lumbini this week on the anniversary of Gautam Buddha. Prime Ministers continued their discussion from where they left last month when Deuba had visited India and discussed specific initiatives and ideas to further strengthen cooperation in various sectors, including culture, economy, trade, connectivity, energy and development partnership.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Lumbini in Nepal this week to mark the anniversary of Lord Gautam Buddha and further emphasize on the deepening India-Nepal ties. Modi, accompanied by Deuba, also offered prayers at the Maya Devi temple, the site where Buddha was born. The two leaders also watered the Bodhi tree sapling from Bodh Gaya, which was gifted by Modi to Lumbini in 2014. In the Indian Prime Minister's fifth visit to the Himalayan nation, Modi and Deuba also laid the foundation stone for a centre for Buddhist culture and heritage. Nepal and India share strong cultural and traditional ties, with Buddhism being one of the common cultural points. Lord Buddha, who was born in Lumbini in Nepal, attained enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, which is in India.
उहाँको यस भ्रमणले हाम्रा दुई देश बीच ऐतिहासिक कालदेखि नै रहँदै आएको सामाजिक, धार्मिक, सांस्कृतिक परम्परागत सम्बन्धलाई थप प्रगाढ र मजबुत बनाउनेछ भन्ने कुरामा म विश्वस्त छु।
The two sides agreed in principle to establish sister city relations between Lumbini and Kushinagar, which are among the holiest sites of Buddhism and reflect the shared Buddhist heritage between the two countries. India and Nepal signed 6 agreements to boost cultural ties after Prime Minister Narendra Modi held talks with his Nepalese counterpart Sher Bahadur Deuba. Modi stressed the need for further depth in the bilateral ties of both countries and said that together they had the potential of guiding the evolving world order.
ये सांझी विरासत, ये सांझी संस्कृति, ये सांझी आस्था और ये साझा प्रेम, यही हमारी सबसे बड़ी पूंजी है। और ये पूंजी जितनी समृद्ध होगी, हम उतने ही प्रभावी ढंग से साथ मिलकर दुनिया तक भगवान बुद्ध का संदेश पहुंचा सकते हैं, दुनिया को दिशा दे सकते हैं। आज जिस तरह की वैश्विक परिस्थितियां बन रही हैं, उसमें भारत और नेपाल की निरंतर मजबूती होती मित्रता, हमारी घनिष्ठता संपूर्ण मानवता के हित का काम करेगी।
India has played an instrumental role in rebuilding Nepal post-2015 earthquake and has provided different forms of assistance under its neighbourhood policy. Under the same line, an MOU between Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam, a Himachal government subsidiary, and Nepal Electricity Authority for a 695 megawatt Arun 4 power project was signed, under which Nepal will receive 152 megawatt of free electricity under a sharing arrangement. India has maintained that it seeks a stable and prosperous neighbourhood, and Nepal, which has been its ally since forever, even before official diplomatic ties were established, has been the key beneficiary of the projects New Delhi has floated under its neighbourhood policies. From railways to gas lines and from trade to integrated checkposts, India has consistently supported Nepal's development, and in Prime Minister Modi's words, India and Nepal have always shared a special relationship and will continue to have it in future.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
Hundreds of Indonesian smallholder farmers staged a protest in the capital Jakarta and in other parts of the country demanding the government end a palm oil export ban that has slashed their income. Matching alongside a truck filled with palm oil fruit, farmers held a rally outside the offices of the Coordinating Ministry of Economic Affairs, which is leading the government policy. Malaysia is the second largest producer of palm oil and has said it aims to supply markets left open by Indonesia's export ban. Indonesia, the world top palm exporter, has since April 28 halted shipments of crude palm oil and some of its derivative products in a bid to control soaring prices of domestic cooking oil, rattling global vegetable oil markets. A heavy sandstorm in Iraq, the latest of what Iraqis say is an unprecedented number to hit the country in recent weeks, closed some state schools and offices and halted flights at Baghdad International Airport this week. Authorities in Baghdad, including the Education Ministry, declared a day off for local government institutions with the exception of health services. Hundreds of people across the capital and southern cities went to hospitals with breathing difficulties, medical officials said. Baghdad International Airport said in a statement it was closing its airspace and halting all flights until further notice because of low visibility. At least one sandstorm a week has hit Iraq in past few weeks in what Iraqis says is the worst such spat in living memory. In Baghdad and southern Iraqi cities, a red haze of dust and sand reduced visibility to just a few hundred feet. According to the United Nations, Iraq is the fifth most vulnerable country in the world to the climate crisis. Drought and extreme temperature are drying up farmland and making large parts of Iraq barely habitable during the summer months. The country posted record temperatures of at least 52 degrees Celsius in recent years. Japanese company Rinnai is launching its production unit in Georgia, North America with an aim to expand the production and dissemination of its latest product, tankless water heater. The tankless water heater makes sure that there is no shortage of hot water.
When it comes to the tankless technology in North America, there are two technologies. There's condensing and non-condensing. The condensing is a higher efficiency product that is sold north of the Mason-Dixon line or in the northern part of the United States. Non-condensing is sold in the southern part of the United States. And Rinnai America has both technologies. So we have product that we sell in both segments that allows us to support both the residential and the commercial marketplace.
Rinnai's motto is creating a healthier way of living. Its water heater contributes toward making a more comfortable life for citizens around the world. Marunouchi is a commercial district in Tokyo which is witnessing massive development. To promote its commercial activities, Mitsubishi Estate hosted a music festival. Professional musicians performed at a number of places to entertain the visitors. Mitsubishi Estate is developing office building in Marunouchi area. The company even provided square of Mitsubishi Estate's building for the concert stage. Additionally, in each season, symbolic events are held to contribute sightseeing. For example, Summer Bon Odori Dance and Winter Christmas event. Mitsubishi Estate is energizing the area by developing a town dedicated to office workers as well as tourists.
Let's shift our focus to Afghanistan, which has been facing severe economic crisis and shortage of food since the Taliban took over Afghanistan last year. New Delhi is using its soft power and has sent 6 consignment of wheat as humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan, a country facing decades of long conflict. We have a report.
A convoy of 40 trucks carrying 2,000 tons of wheat from India's Atari town left for Afghanistan. The aid has been sent in line with the multi-layered humanitarian assistance being provided to Afghanistan by New Delhi. After the takeover of power by the Taliban in Kabul, India has been monitoring the developments in Afghanistan very closely. The aid is a gift from the people of India to the people of Afghanistan.
आज 40 ट्रक यहाँ से अफगानिस्तान जा रहे हैं और टोटल 40 ट्रकों में 2000 मेट्रिक टन व्हीट है। इसके पहले हमने अभी तक 10,000 मेट्रिक टन व्हीट भेजा है और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने जैसे इनको 50,000 मेट्रिक टन व्हीट देने की बात कही है तो उसमें से 40,000 टन जाना बाकी है।
India had earlier sent clothes, medicines and other essential items to the war-torn country. Following which, the ruling Taliban regime thanked New Delhi for humanitarian assistance. The life-saving medicines, including COVID-19 vaccines and most of the aid, have been sent on flights via the United Arab Emirates and Iran. Moreover, the country has allocated Rs 200 crore towards aid to Afghanistan in its 2022 budget. The allotment includes an additional Rs 100 crore for Chabahar port. Now, New Delhi, which has been directly coordinating with the UN agencies in this humanitarian assistance, says it will complete its target of transporting 50,000 tons of wheat as well as substantial amount of medicine in coming weeks.
इंडिया का बहुत शुक्रिया है, बहुत गंदम कोमा किया और दवाई का मरस्तबीम किया और दवाई का बहुत ज़रूरत है। उधर बच्चा ज़्यादा बीमार होता है। इसमें दोनों दोस्ती ज़्यादा हो चुका है। पहले अभी में अफगानिस्तान और इंडियन के दोस्ती था।
India says it is committed to provide humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan, and in this particular case, where a rapidly deteriorating situation needed a short route, the Government of India is tirelessly working at exploring all avenues for assistance.
Moving on to our cultural section of the show, where today we will take you to soak in the vibrant festivities of Thrissur Puram that was recently observed with huge fanfare across the Indian state of Kerala. Regarded as the mother of all Purams, the festival was the brainchild of Saktan Thampuran, the Maharaja of Cochin from 1790 to 1805. Have a look.
Thrissur city of Kerala came alive with colourful festivities as one of the biggest annual carnivals of the state. Thrissur Puram was celebrated with huge fanfare. Held at Vadakumnathan temple situated in Thekkinkadu Maidan of the city, the festival is observed in the Malayalam month of Medam on Puram day when the moon rises with the Puram star. This year, the festival was much awaited by devotees as it was taking place after 2 years' gap.
Coming after 2 years for Thrissur Puram, and it is really nice to watch it live. That too, we got a chance to watch it from close, so it was really nice. It's a nice vibe.
This year, the festival was heralded by majestic tusker Ernakulam Sivakumar, who, carrying the idol of Naithala Kavu Bhagavati, opened the gates of the ancient Vadakumnathan temple. After this takes place the main attraction of the festival, the grand display of caparisoned elephants with ornamental fans and dazzling parasols in a wonderful ceremony called Kudamattam. It is the most colourful event of the Puram, and this year the administration arranged additional security for women so that they can take part in large numbers.
Really we are exciting this year because last 2 years there was no function like this. So we are so exciting to see all this today's programs, and we are happy with we are enjoying completely. We family we are all every year we will enjoy this program.
This is a very wonderful experience. Despite the rushes, we see it very randomly. There was so much colourful, and we enjoyed it so much.
The main highlight of the festival is Ilanjithara Melam, considered as the world's largest live orchestra of percussionists that is known for its technical brilliance. The orchestra enthralls thousands of devotees with their bewitching performances of traditional instruments. Another attraction is fireworks known as Vedikettu in Malayalam. It forms an important part of Kerala's temple festivals, and in Thrissur Puram too, specific area is allotted to burst crackers. Originally, the fireworks were held in the wee hours, but this time the activity was postponed to the evening due to rains.
Because of the rain, we couldn't be, we weren't able to watch it. That is a little bit of a disappointment for all of us, I know, but it's postponed, and surely we'll be able to watch it again. And all of us are in the spirit of Puram, and we'll surely enjoy. So I'm waiting for the fireworks to begin again.
Believed to have been started by King Saktan Thampuran of the 18th century Kochi kingdom, Thrissur Puram is a perfect mix of culture and spirituality. Today, with its popularity reaching a new high, it has been successfully carving its own niche in the country's annual carnival calendar.
It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We will be back next week at the same time. This is Yeshi signing off on behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.